I open the meeting. Can I remind everybody that this council meeting has been recorded and will be published online via Facebook. For those present in the meeting today, by participating in this public meeting, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The Mayor and the General Manager have the authority to pause the recording if comments or debate are considered defamatory or otherwise inappropriate for the publishing. Participants are advised that they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour and or comment. As I said, I've opened the meeting. We have no apologies for tonight. I'll ask Councillor Adams to state a prayer. Councillor Adams.
Almighty God, we ask you to invoke your blessing upon this council. Direct and prosper our deliberations to the advancement and true welfare of the people of the council area, our state and Australia. Amen.
Thank you, Councillor Adams. Councillor Gallagher, could you do the acknowledgement of country? You have to unmute yourself, Councillor Gallagher.
Apologies there, Madam Mayor. I wish to acknowledge the traditional owners upon the land upon which we meet and pay our respect to those elders, both past, present and emerging.
Oh, sorry, Councillor Nolan's got his hand up. Can we go to Councillor Nolan to see if there's a problem? Councillor Nolan?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. I just, for some reason, I disappeared off the screen. Can you see me at the moment?
No, we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Oh, that's strange. Perhaps I'll try logging out and in because I was there before the meeting started.
Okay, thank you,
Was
Councillor.
that appropriate?
Well, yes, you better because we need to see you.
Okay, thank you.
Phone. Okay. We'll just give Councillor Nolan a moment to rejoin us. He's back. You've got your camera turned off, Councillor Nolan. By our screen, you've got your camera turned off, so you'll need to turn your camera back on. Thank you. Okay, I'll move to the reports. Item 1, Broken Hill City Council report number 92/20, dated 30th of June 2020. Draft council notice of motion deemed to be unlawful as per the Broken Hill City Council Code of Meeting Practice, adopted 29th of April 2020, minute number 46238, page 3. Councillor Adams, you're moving that way?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'll move that report number 92/20 be received and that council note the report.
Thank you, Councillor. Do I have a second? Sorry, councillors. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Clark. Thank you, Councillor Clark. Councillor Adams, do you want to speak to that?
Well, Madam Mayor, I think it's very clear that clause 3-19 of the council, Broken Hill City Council Code of Meeting Practice, says it's up to the General Manager to decide what and what isn't unlawful, and this has been decided.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Kennedy, are you speaking against the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Unlike Councillor Adams, I understand the Act may be a little bit better. The General Manager is to make things that are unlawful. It's not up to the General Manager to decide if something's unlawful, if it's not unlawful. I don't agree with the opinion that the General Manager has on this matter at all. Nowhere is it directing the day-to-day operations of staff. No, I made specifically clear in the motion that it wasn't an attempt to interfere in the day-to-day operations. Councillors have the authority to disagree with the General Manager on any issue he likes to disagree with. The General Manager might not like that, but at the end of the day, the structure of council is quite clear. The council are at the top. Under the council is the General Manager. The General Manager implements what councillors have to say. I heard on the radio Mayor Turley say that we're in charge of strategic policy. This is not true. Council's in charge of policy, full stop. The General Manager doesn't decide policy, he implements policy. He can advise council on policy, which is what his little footnotes or recommendations are in reports. At the end of the day, councillors decide. When it comes to the workforce and the policy of looking after the workforce, we're in charge of work health and safety, as has been explained many times. Councillors now are totally, as is other managers, responsible for work health and safety. We're also in charge of the workers' emergency structure. We're in charge of the structure. Council's in charge of every policy. When it comes to day-to-day is implementing council's policies. The General Manager, I think, would have helped council out greatly if he determined that something was unlawful. We come with a bit of background information to why that was unlawful. I will eventually get to discuss the matters I discuss, because as a councillor, I will continue to try and represent the workforce and show my support wherever I can. And as a councillor, I will again resubmit for a new extraordinary meeting, and eventually we will deal with this. Councillors need to understand that this so-called travel policy, COVID-19 travel policy, will have financial implications. It has already gone to the Commission. It's going to go further. It's going to be a cost to the community, a cost that the General Manager has not been delegated to spend.
I've got a point of order, councillor. What's your point of order, councillor Adams?
Well, I think that councillor, through the chair, councillor Kennedy is going way over what the report is stating.
Thank you, councillor. I take your point of order. Councillor Kennedy?
Yeah.
I've accepted.
Keep on going.
Could you keep your argument focused on what is in front of you?
Yeah, so what's in front of us is that the General Manager has ruled that it's out of order because of 319 of the meeting procedures. Now, that is to do with the General Manager declaring something unlawful. I'm arguing that it's not unlawful. I don't know how Councillor Adams has come to the conclusion that my argument, who's arguing against the General Manager who's declared an item to be unlawful, anywhere in my argument have I gone off of that.
Sorry, councillor,
arguing.
I'll just do the point of order. It is about 319, and it would be as that ultimately the question whether an item of business is unlawful is a matter for the General Manager. It's not a matter for you and I to debate.
No, sorry.
General Manager.
Sorry, Mayor Turley. The General Manager must act within the Act. And it's quite clear that the General Manager's not acting within the Act.
Councillor Kennedy, did you hear me call a point of order on you? It is
Who called a point of order?
The point of order, again, is that you're out of order. You're speaking against what is already our code of conduct, our code of meeting practice. Now, as I have said, it is actually up to the General Manager to make this lawful. Now, just to assist you, I did contact the OLG. So it is actually up to the General Manager. I did seek advice, Councillor Kennedy. You're out of order. Please stick.
Out of order in what way, Mayor Turley?
Councillor Kennedy, I've spoken again.
You know, it would be a lot easier
Kennedy,
if the Mayor and councillors allowed me to put my 5 minutes argument, which was, I would assume, would only be a couple of minutes more. It would have been a lot easier and a lot less chaotic than silly points of order that have no bearing on what is being said. Every time I speak, there's an interruption on something that's a debate rather than a point of order.
Councillor
Kennedy,
can I please? It is a point of order on you. You know the rules. You've quoted us to them enough. You know, the point of order is that you are arguing about what is lawful, what is unlawful. It is not up to you to deem that. So thank you. Are you going to speak against the motion?
I am speaking against the motion, Madam Mayor, and I've been interrupted again on my the way I debate something, not on the substance of it. I can say that someone's unlawful or lawful or whatever. That's part of my argument. You do not have to accept it, and councillors can vote
I don't
against it.
accept it, councillor.
But I
It
am
breaches the code of
entitled
meeting
to
practice.
put an argument forward.
I don't have to put an argument. I'm the mayor, mate. So,
Hey,
it is
mate, don't call me
unlawful.
mate.
My apologies. You're not my
Pardon,
mate,
mate.
of course. You're a councillor and act like it. So
Well,
it is
how about,
unlawful.
Madam Mayor, you're the mayor and you just called me mate in the middle of
Yes.
a debate, mate.
And I didn't mean to call you my mate. I withdraw that. But as I have said, we could argue about this, but I called a point of order on you.
And I call a point of order on you, Madam Mayor, to refer to a fellow councillor and show complete lack of respect and call them, look here, mate, I'm the mayor.
Yes, I did apologise, councillor. Let me apologise
And then you
again
went on
for
to
that.
criticise me again.
Well, I'm not criticising you.
called
I
me
called
mate.
your point of order, councillor.
You do
The
not
point of
refer
order
to
is-
councillors as mate. I am the mayor, mate. I do what I want. mate.
Yes, put that on. Yes, put that. Apologising. I'll put that back in my hat. Didn't mean to call you my mate, but you are not. You're being
It
disrespectful.
wasn't my mate, it was
for that.
mate. You listen to what you have to do. I'm the mayor, you listen, mate. I think that's enough for me to say right now. I
Thank you,
find this
councillor.
disgusting as usual.
Thank you, councillor. Are you going to argue with your position that is outside of that? You've completed. Is there any other speakers for the motion? Councillor Clark?
Yes, sorry, I've got my, am I unmuted?
Clapping hands, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. No, it's, I find that, you know, I think Councillor Kennedy is sincere, but he's leading us in the wrong direction here. I have to oppose this motion because it is...
Sorry, Councillor Clark, you're supporting the motion.
Oh,
It is
no, I'm sorry.
Councillor
I'm talking
Adams'
about-
motion.
Sorry, I'm opposing what Councillor Kennedy has said. I
You're
really
speaking
wish
for the
to-
motion.
Yes, thank you. I want to also make an amendment if I can. Is that permissible?
Not in the extraordinary meeting. What is? let me-
Okay.
Yeah,
No, that's all right. I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do want to just add, though, if I can, in speaking for the motion and against what Councillor Kennedy has said, is that we have to be very careful here. This motion is illegal. We are moving into operational territory. We know none of us would want to be part of a council that was sacked because we did something like this. While I do...
point of order, Councillor Kennedy, you've got a point of order?
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You ruled Councillor Clark as not being able to move an amendment. Councillor Clark can move an amendment like any councillor can move an amendment. The agenda item has been put. If the councillor wants to move an amendment, she has the right to move an amendment.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Clark?
Well, Madam Mayor, I would only move an amendment to support, I guess, our workforce, our council workforce. And I would support them. I would say that all councillors, and I'm going to say all councillors, regardless of what arguments there may be, that all councillors are supporting the workforce of the Broken Hill City Council and the executive leadership team, because we all have the same aim to provide a safe and healthy workplace. And in doing that, I would also like to express our appreciation to all of our council employees for all the work they do. And they have faced a great deal of hardship in the community, as in fact the rest of the workforce of Broken Hill have. Now the workforce of Broken Hill, some of them have not been well, quite as favoured as the council workforce in that they have lost their jobs. We have some employers who have lost their businesses. I don't know. I can't tell if they're ever going to get them back again. I certainly haven't got a crystal ball to tell you if what's happening in Victoria is going to hit us here in Broken Hill. I certainly hope that it does not. But I would just like to say that all councillors here appreciate the council workforce, what they do for the people of Broken Hill, for the community of Broken Hill, and that we support those workers and we support the executive leadership team in providing a healthy and safe workplace. That's it, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
It's this is contrary to the motion we have in front of us, Councillor Clark. Sorry, Councillor Clark is on mute.
Oh,
Councillor Clark, this is contrary to the motion that has in front of us.
yeah, I heard you, Madam Mayor, and I was saying, look, I'm sorry if it has. I just feel strongly that in some way we should acknowledge our workforce, our council workforce. But if this is going contrary to the motion, then I will withdraw it.
Thank you. And Councillor, let's think about what we can do about that. I know that Councillor Kennedy has called another extraordinary meeting, but can I say that we actually do have a motion of support for our staff as well. And this is very difficult times for everyone, and I know everybody's watching closely what's happening with Victoria.
Yeah.
So we won't accept that. Any further speakers against? Councillor Allgate? Councillor Allgate, you have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
What I was about to say, Madam Mayor, is that I tend to agree with Councillor Clark. We need to formally, as far as I'm concerned, we need to formally record that we do support the workforce in its entirety. And but for some reason there seems to be some sort of problem with the council majority that don't appear to want to do that. Individual councillors may have done that individually in public, but the council as a whole needs to make a decision one way or the other. Either we support the workforce in their endeavours, we support their efforts, or we don't. But one of your own bloc have put forward the fact that we should be at least tabling the fact that as a group, as a governing body, we do support the workforce. So I can't see why there is a resistance to do at least that as a starting point.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Adams, you've already spoken to the motion.
Yeah,
I'll wait for your right to reply.
That's fine.
Thank you. Is there any other speakers for the motion? No other speakers for the motion. I'll ask Councillor Adams to do a right to reply.
No, what I wanted to say is something completely different, so I won't make that.
Oh, okay. Councillor
Put it to
Adams,
the vote.
okay, thank you. Would you like to do your right to reply?
No, just put it to the vote.
Okay, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? Against? I'll read out. Mayor Turley, Councillor LeCool, Councillor Adams, Councillor Gallagher, Councillor Nolan, Councillor Brown, Councillor Clark, against Councillor Kennedy, Councillor Page and Councillor Allgate. Thank you, councillors. And with that, I'll declare the meeting closed. And thank you all for attending.